We have a little bit of a change that has happened because of a movement of the Spirit that hit me in the middle of the night. This is going to happen from time to time. But we are going to sing, instead of O Come, O Come, Emmanuel, after the lighting of the Advent wreath, we're going to sing 'Twas in the Moon of Wintertime, and that's in your insert. And it'll be led by the larks. It'll be led by the drum, and it'll happen before the lighting of the Advent wreath. So, you guys first, then the lighting of the Advent wreath, Catherine. Okay, there you are, and then the service will proceed as it's written in the bulletin. So, it's my job to welcome you all. Is it on? Is this on?
I believe it is.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, okay. Here we are, and this is a great to see you all. Boy, this feels so full. It's wonderful. all these faces that I recognize. Okay, wonderful. Big item for next Sunday is regular services in the morning at each church, and then in the afternoon at 2 o'clock in Pioneer Hall. So that for me, that means I'm down in Dorset, and I'm going to drive all the way back to Pioneer for a wonderful time of singing carols. And I hope you folks in Dorset will come with me, or a little later, 1 o'clock. Usually our service is over at 12:30, so there's time there to get to the carol singing. You may have noticed that I don't put a lot of Christmas carols into the Advent services, and that's deliberate because we're in a time of waiting and expecting and looking forward. So I try very hard not to have, deck the halls kinds of things during our during our Advent services. This Sunday, we're going to have 'Twas in the Moon of Wintertime as the Christmas carol for today, and it will be led by the Indigenous drum. I think I said that already. Winter solstice, I want you to notice it. I want you to observe it, and I will be sending out some suggestions about ways that you might do that in your home with your kids or family. If they're around by the 22nd, they might be. I'll be doing other things. But I just want to observe it. I will be observing it. I'd like you to as well. And then Christmas Eve, we're 5 p.m. in Knox United Church in Dorset, and then 7 p.m. here at Dwight. And there's no service happening in Pioneer. It's too late, and most people don't like to drive at night. No Christmas service on Christmas Day, and no New Year's service on New Year's Day. We wish you a Happy New Year and a Happy Christmas. But we know you'll be with your families, and you're most probably not going to come to church, and I certainly will not be here. Not on Christmas anyway, but on New Year's either. I'm going to spend my time, rather than preparing for worship, I will be making special visits to people around the charge. And then our winter schedule, which is when we all gather like this, as one, and we'll be worshiping at Pioneer. The other churches are not closed, but we're just not having worship time there in Dwight and in Dorset. So, that being said, I want to ask, am I leaving out anything important that somebody wants to announce? Yes, Gundy.
Just talking about the services at Pioneer, we're going to try this as an experiment. Rather than having a sign-up schedule for refreshments, we're asking everybody to bring their own lunch and just bring something extra, just like a cookie, a half sandwich, a muffin, anything. Because this way, if anybody comes who has forgotten their lunch, or if we have unexpected guests, then we can make up a plate for them. But like I said, this is an experiment. We're going to see how this goes. And we're hoping that there's the opportunity where somebody says, well, next week I'll make hot dogs, or next week I'll bring soup and crackers. Again, it won't be a sign-up thing. It'll be just
People offering.
people offering spontaneously. So we'll give it a try. After 3 or 4 weeks, we'll ask people what they think, and we can go from there.
It's an experiment, and one of the things we might start doing is community kitchen making soups. That's what I'd like to do, but we'll see. We'll see. It's a dream. Will it happen? I don't know. Anything else?
Fundscrip?
Sorry?
Fundscrip?
Oh yes, yes, we're starting a new fundraising program, and Jamie is going to come up and tell us about it. Are you going to come up, or are you going to stand right there?
I think I can stand here.
Okay. Let's see if
We're having a meeting afterwards, right?
Yes.
And I'll go into it in detail at that time.
Good.
And, but I was given a heads up that some people leave right after the service. So if, I'm hoping you won't. Yeah, there's food out there, and but anyway, in a nutshell, what Fundscrip is, it's not asking you to pay more money to help the churches keep going. It's a way of you spending the money you normally spend for food, gasoline, groceries, clothing, Tim Hortons, you name it. And a percentage of that money is paid by the vendor that you're buying from, 2%, 3%. And it's their way of trying to attract your loyalty to their business. So the simple way it works, they're called gift cards, but that's really not what it is. It's more like a debit card. So once a month you buy, let's say, I shop at Freshco. So I buy a $200 Freshco card, and when I go into Freshco, they just treat it as a debit card. It goes through the machine. All $200 I get to spend. They don't take anything from my $200. I just have $200. I buy what I buy, the groceries, and then at the end of the month, $6 of that comes into the church bank account. It's a no-brainer. We did it in Elmvale. They do it at Trinity and Huntsville. Gord Mitchell has raised tens of thousands of dollars there over the years. On average, 10 people over the course of a year would raise around $3,000. 50 people would raise around $15,000 for the church. So you, I hope, will come to the meeting. I'll go into it in more detail. But if you are going to leave early, I have a sheet where I just would hope that you could put your name and an email address down, and then I can be in communication with you in more detail about this. So that's enough for that for now, okay?
Okay.
Unless there's a question.
Do you buy specifically for Freshco, for Tim's, for
Yes,
Canadian Tire?
exactly.
So it's not a blanket
No,
card?
no,
Okay.
No. So we buy 3 or 4 cards a
Okay.
month.
Okay.
But you name it. Tell me a vendor that you like to buy things from.
Canadian Tire.
Yeah, they're on the list. Oh, and that's the other. Let's say you love to shop at Independent. You hand them this card, and they'll say, "Where's your Optimum card?" And you still get your points because they just see this as cash. And that's why I keep saying it's a no-brainer. Okay, enough for now.
Yeah, there's a really great little mantra, shopping is fundraising. If you
Right.
shop, if you spend money, and you have one of these cards, you're raising money for your church every time that you do it. So we're just Jamie's gonna set up an account with the finance people, and we'll start getting the percentage from what you do. It's lots of fun, really. Anyway, we live in a consumer world, and one of my beefs is the extent to which corporations and retailers tend to control our lives. So I say leverage as much of that energy to help the church.